Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk to Della and Rosier about his distillery, Our Farm Distilling. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Dylan Rosier and Miss Della Fane.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello. We got a fun show here today, so it should be fun getting to know a little bit more about Our Farm Distilling. I'm very interested in that. We got Della back. She was banned from Zoom for a while, but now she's on Zoom, so she's joining us, which is cool. Always one of our favorites.
Liberated.
And we're going to be talking about your favorite fall time. We always talk about our stouts and what's going on with some barrel-aged stouts, but that's next show. But right now, we're going to get to know Dylan a little bit. So, Dylan, start off. I think the first question is an easy one, man. Tell us about yourself again on a personal basis. We're going to talk about the distillery and all the things you got going on there after the break. But for right now, focus on you.
I'm a girl dad. I mean, that's the first thing. I got 3 little girls.
Wow.
I got no idea what to do with girls. I grew up with 3 brothers, all boys in my family. All my cousins were boys, and I got 3 girls. So
that's why.
that's awesome. So yeah, first of all, I guess I'm a girl dad. Second of all,
you have to learn how to fix hair when your wife's out of town, or that's what I had.
Yeah.
My hardest thing was like, Dad, help me with my ponytail, and I put it on. And she's like, no, tighter. You don't do it. You're not doing it right. I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. I don't know how to do it.
I'm struggling with the hair.
The hair is a thing.
Struggling. The hair is a struggle. I can't figure that one out. My middle daughter is all about it though. She can already do hers, so that's not a problem. But yeah, hair is a struggle.
Hair's a struggle. Yeah, I let them pick out. I let my daughter pick out her own clothes. Let her wear what she wants. I'm fine with whatever she puts on. But the hair thing when she was little was that was where she did not like when I was home alone. So my wife used to travel for like a conference. Yeah, she did not like it.
How old are the girls, Dylan?
I got 7, 5, and 3.
Oh yeah,
5-year-old can already do her hair. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Kids these days are also getting a lot smarter than we were when we were younger. Like I was just an idiot.
That used to be a group back in the 80s called 357.
357.
Yeah. That just made me think of that.
So what else about you, Dylan?
Farmer. So we grew up on a farm, still farm, went to college, came back to the farm. We grow corn and soybeans here in Northwest Missouri, back with the family. It's a family operation. That's kind of what I do on a day-to-day basis until the distillery project came along. I guess other than that, just personally, I'm a big sports nut. I like to hunt and fish, and kind of what we talked about later, I like to shoot trap and stuff like that. So I like to be outside a lot. And but yeah, pretty much just a farm kid, just a normal rural farm kid.
What sort of animals do you have on the farm? Anything?
We're all row crop, so we don't have any livestock.
No livestock, but do you have sometimes
Not
they'll have a random goat?
No, I've dodged that bullet. My oldest or a couple of my girls they've threatened. They keep asking for a goat every once in a while. And
a goat is good, yeah.
That bullet, but we don't have any livestock. I got a couple big dogs. Other than that,
no cats.
No.
All that grain around and
I'm
no
not
cats.
a cat guy. I don't trust cats. I don't like
Oh.
cats. I'm not a cat guy. I've never liked cats.
I don't trust cats.
I don't know.
Not trust about this face. Look at him.
I know he looks adorable, but I don't know. They just give you that look sometimes. It's like,
Oh, he'd kill me in a heartbeat, but
yeah,
that's what I
exactly.
enjoy about it.
Right.
You have to gain their trust. Like, I know he won't kill me because he loves me, but like dogs just won't because they're scared of you, where Dean chooses to not murder me in my sleep.
Right. Exactly.
No, I just want to walk out the door and want that dumb happy face running up to you as the dog. That's what I want.
No, cat's not gonna do that. Cat's gonna be like, where have you been all day? Hurry up and feed me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely not a cat guy. That's for sure.
Okay. And I would have thought outside at the farm, the grains and all that kind of stuff. You would think cats would almost be mandatory. I'm going to get you a couple cats.
I think
I
you
will
should send them
agree.
at
We do
least
need a
2.
couple cats for sure. They keep the mind.
They're workers. I'll say that. They'll go to work.
What
immediately.
about at the distillery though?
Well, that's what I have been told several times, that you have to have a cat at the distillery.
Oh, you do.
It's
know.
So
Yeah. Ask
We may
Beka.
have
That,
to
that,
do
Beka has a
almost a
cat at the
requirement.
distillery. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Almost
the
all
manager.
officers
That's the person. That's
They
the
take
go-to
care
person.
of customer relations
Yes.
for one.
Definitely.
Like, let's say that like you don't have time to talk to someone for a couple minutes. If that cat is there, assuming it's a good cat, they will take care of dealing with that customer until you have the time to deal with them, because they'll just be playing with the cat and like literally people like, I don't know how often people are like, oh yeah, hold on. And they're just playing with the cat and you're like, oh, this is great.
They handle your PR.
Yeah. They kill things.
They definitely kill.
They
them.
kill things, which is great too.
Right.
They are also an extra part of entertainment on the tour itself. Like our distillery.
They're a
cat
draw. The
Yeah,
people will
artists
come in to
like
see.
that.
They'll be like, "Where's Thumper?" I've been in your
Exactly.
place. They'll be like, "Where's Thumper?"
It's the first, like, if they've been in before, they go, "Oh, where is Thumper at?" And if they first see Thumper, then they're like, "Oh my God, there's a cat," and they get excited. Thumper will literally walk around our Cypress fermenters on the lip of it during a tour and just show off to people.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic. And then if they're at the rick house, he'll jump up on top of the barrels and climb on the barrels all the way to the top, hang out up there and look at everyone, then jump his way back down.
It's
I
like
mean-
showing off.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
That's all he's doing. He has zero purpose in doing any of that other than to make money. That's how we know that he's Earl Sizemore's cat, because
He's getting a
all he's
kickback
concerned
on the
about
vacuum.
is, yeah, he's just trying to make money. That's all he cares
That's
about.
awesome.
Yeah, no, he's definitely an interesting cat. I even put him in my book. I've got that book, Bourbon Assignments, and one of them is to, if you're at Neely Family Distillery, you got a pet Thumper.
Congratulations on that book.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, #1 on Amazon. How about that?
Very awesome.
It hit #1. It's still, I think, #3. Here we are a week later. It's still ranking high up there. So
I'm
That
not
book
surprised
is
at
going
all.
to be the bane of my
Yeah.
existence.
yes, they're all getting them now. And one of the, like at Neely, I put in there because I was worried about if I don't know someone to have them do this, but I know Beka really well. And I put in the book, get a picture, get a selfie with Beka. So all these people who have the book are going to be coming into the distillery and be like, hey, I got to get this
I
picture.
got
get
this
points.
book.
Yeah.
Not excited about that.
It's only for, a year or so.
Oh, it's just
Or
a year.
so. Or
just a
so.
year or so.
At
Yeah,
least. Depends on
Yeah.
when people buy the fucking book.
Yeah. Yeah. So well,
Yeah, it's great.
good
Real
times.
fucking
Good times. So yeah, well, there you go, Dylan. Good to meet you, man. So looking forward to having you on, not only on this show where we're going to learn about your company, but we've got you lined up to come on some other shows as well. Should be fun. It is now time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Dylan, we'll start with you. What are you drinking there, man?
Got a little Four Roses small batch select.
Okay.
Was recently in Kentucky and found that you don't see that one in our area all too often. But yeah, that's what I got tonight.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Do you have the bottle there? Do you want to do a try a
Yeah.
cork pop? All right, let's see what you got. Okay. Not much there. Not much there. That's our lead though. That did make noise. It was audible. Della, you're next. What do you got?
I am not competing. I have Weller. It's almost all gone.
Oh, almost all gone, yeah.
Special
Special
reserve.
reserve screw top. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Beka, you're next. What do you got?
Tonight, I'm drinking our bottle your own option in the distillery called Murphy's Law. For one,
Oh.
it was a bad day bringing it in. And for two, it's a good chance to name another barrel after one of our guys, Brian
Oh,
Murphy.
The Murph. How about that?
The
All right.
Murph.
Let's.
It's a
yeah.
weeded bottle, and it's 107 proof.
Ooh, nice. Low.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Right.
Let's see how it goes.
Okay, that's our leader.
Yeah,
But-
way better.
But I'm coming right at you because I
Look
got a thing of barrel seagrass here. This is brand new. I haven't popped this cork yet, so I got to think this is going to be a winner here because Beka has got the lead, but it was just so. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Ooh,
That's pretty good.
that was crisp.
You
That was crisp.
won.
Yeah, that was good. So there you go. All right, gang. Cheers to me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, this seagrass is good. You guys got to get some of this. That is good stuff. Jeez. I love it. All right, we'll take that quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking to Dylan some more. But this time we're going to talk about his company, Our Farm Distilling. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward Certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
I'm McNew. Don't mix your grain and grapes. Not a good time. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking to Dylan Rosier about his distillery, Our Farm Distilling.
Yes, we are. So Dylan, family's been in farming, not in distilling. So how do you guys decide you're going to make this move to, make a distillery part of what you're doing in farming?
Yeah, so I'll take you back to the beginning. So I'm the fourth generation farmer in the family, and so my great grandpa moved back to where we are initially located, right here, in the 1940s. He moved back from Western Nebraska. Always said he wanted to move back to where it rained. So he came back here, and I currently live just right over the hill from the initial 40 acres that he homesteaded. And so that's kind of our heritage, has always been in agriculture, always in farming. And to continue that, the way the idea from the distillery started is me and my brother kind of started. So let me back up. I'm farming with two of my brothers now too. So it's truly a family operation. Right. I farm with my dad and my brother, two brothers every day now. So we started kind of looking down the road, and I have three little girls, and my brothers both have two girls. And we started kind of looking, well, if we want this farm to thrive for generations to come, and we're going to have to kind of exponentially grow the farm to, sustain that many people. And the way that the farm ag economy is, that's just not really feasible for us, or really for anybody to grow for that many people. So we started looking at ways to kind of diversify, ways to kind of vertically integrate in agriculture. And we kind of landed on, we've always really liked bourbon. Always thought it was awesome. Never really have been into it like we have for the past 4 or 5 years now. But we kind of landed on, hey, we ought to try to make some bourbon out of our corn. I mean, we grow corn. I mean, that's what we do. We've got corn, more corn than you could ever use in our distillery. So we thought, hey, let's try to make some bourbon out of this stuff. So we started kind of looking at that as a way to diversify. And we looked at it as a way that there's so many different things that a distillery can bring as far as talents and skill sets, and that are different from like your typical like row crop operation. There's a lot of different options there for, there's marketing, there's advertising, there's all kinds of things that we don't have that, somebody in the family has that skill set and that's what they want to do. They don't have to leave our area. They don't have to leave our rural community to do that. So hopefully this business will give that, opportunity for those people. So we started looking at ways that maybe that would tie in. And also the distilling is an agricultural practice. I mean, if you go clear back in history,
sure.
I mean, farmers are kind of the original distillers. They did it to preserve their grain and a way to market their grain. And they didn't have the technology to store grain like through winter and keep it from spoiling. So distilling is rooted in agriculture. So we said, hey, we may as well try this to give it a shot. So we eventually just kind of said, all right, we're going to try it. And so basically from 4 years ago, we've kind of been taking it step by step, and we've been getting the business up and running since then.
Who has been your distiller? Is it you and your brothers, or is it a few of you, or who's actually doing the distilling itself?
So my middle brother, Cole, he is going to run that side of it. He's going to be kind of the main guy distilling, starting off. We all want to know how to do it. We're all going to know how to do it. That was kind of one condition when we started up, that we said we all think this is awesome. We all want to know how to do this. Cole's going to head it up. So he's going to do it, but it's going to be a family deal. Like we want to all know how to do it initially. And then we're just relying on a lot of good people, I think, to help us and kind of teach us how to get going and start playing around with some stuff. Because, we're not shy about saying we have zero experience doing this. I mean, I haven't played around with anything in the backyard. When we started this, we hadn't done anything. So we were truly starting from scratch and learning kind of as we go, relying on a lot of good people to help us get going here.
How long have you guys been doing this?
So we started, depends when you want to start, call it the beginning point, I guess, of that. Me and my brother kind of said go, probably coming up on 4 years ago now. Then it kind of took my parents, my dad, I guess, a little convincing to kind of get on board with this and get going. Because we kind of came to him and proposed like the business plan and stuff and said, hey, we have to buy all this equipment before we really know that we're going to have a license and it takes a long time before anything's coming out of a barrel. So that took a little convincing at the initial part, but now Dad is he has dove in. He's so far down the rabbit hole that it's great. It's way past coming back.
That's great news.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's truly a family project. There's not one person in our family that is not neck deep in this thing. On a daily basis.
So this is it's not a personal question, but it kind of is. Who has the best palate out of everyone where it comes to like tasting things and being like,
that's important too.
This tastes correct, or they're best at picking out maybe off flavors or really good flavors as well, because that's a hard thing. And there's some people who it's absolutely natural to, and there's some people who you have to like work really hard at it. And there's some people who will just never learn, and that's just how that's fine.
Yeah.
So who's got the best palate out of everybody?
So that's definitely Cole. Cole's definitely got more of it was just natural. I mean, we just started playing around with stuff ourselves. He's like, hey, like just doing like, you know, kind of mock like blind tastings and stuff. And Cole's definitely got more of the natural, like he can pick stuff out. I have to really work at it. I mean, I can really tell like if I like it or not and stuff like that. I mean, and then it takes me a lot longer to get to that point, me personally, but Cole's a lot more natural at it for sure.
Yeah.
And I would say for sure, like it takes time. I mean, if you saw me 4 years ago when I started this and I was tasting bourbon, like Steve can attest, and even Della can. I was on with Della years and years ago. I mean, like I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get drunk off this. What's up? Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I knew if I liked it or if I didn't like it. Like there's ones I liked a lot, and there's ones I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't know I didn't like it. And now I'm to the point where I understand maybe why I don't like something or why I do like something, at least a little bit better. And even if it just comes down to like proof or the type of grains used, or if it's a pot distilled product or a column distilled product and things like that. And I mean, it just, it takes time. What kind of still are you guys using?
So we have a 12-inch beer still is what we got, what we ordered. And then we ordered we got a couple 1,000-gallon fermenters and a 1,000-gallon cooker that we're going to try to kind of scale that. The fermenter is kind of back behind it as we go. We kind of sized up our equipment from our initial idea got scaled up pretty quick initially. Once we got going, kind of grew on us a little bit from what we initially thought we were going to do. But on the equipment side of it, we basically just kind of cold called Vendome and kind of started talking to them and went in there and ended up I didn't even know, like I was talking to Rob Sherman and I didn't even really know who he was at that point. And then we started kind of going in and talking to him.
He's kind of a big deal.
Why is the owner of this company even talking to us? I mean, they're doing all these big guys, and I'm walking in there, just a farmer from Northwest Missouri. I'm thinking, why are they even talking to us? But I cannot explain how awesome Rob has been. He's kind of helped us through this whole thing and helped us out a ton actually through this whole project and getting our equipment lined up and stuff.
You're going Vendome. You're going the right way to start.
Yeah, you did the right thing. You went right to Vendome.
Oh, yeah,
all our stuff.
What kind of mash bills are you guys working on?
So we our initial one that we're going to start out with, we're going to be a wheated bourbon starting out. That's just what we all liked. Don't necessarily have no more reason behind it than that. We all like wheated bourbon. So we're going to be a wheated bourbon. And then we're going to play around with like a low percentage rye too. So we're going to have and then we'll probably add a higher rye bourbon maybe down the road as we get up and running at some point. We got some ideas for that too, but that's where we're starting off.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to grow all these products? Like, can you grow rye where you're at in Northwest Missouri?
So that was the premise when we started this project. Is we're growing everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
Everything that goes into our product is coming off of our farm. So I'll be the same guy planting it, taking care of it all year, harvesting the crop, and then we're going to bring it right into our location, and then we're going to distill it. I mean, I'll be part of helping out distill it. My brothers will definitely be the one distilling it.
You're not going to try to do a malt house, are you?
We're not trying the malt.
That's a tough one. Yeah. But
yeah, we're not.
That's like the open loop. That's the one thing that most.
That's the one thing that. So the barley, we can't really grow barley. Like barley's a lot more northern. It likes a lot more the northern climate. But we've had really good luck we can grow wheat really well, and we've had really good luck growing the rye too. So we've got a pretty good stock of that stuff built up that we've grown
too?
here.
Yeah. I'll say this, you sound like you're at the stage where you need tips and things like that. That rye will mature faster. Beka can verify this. When you put a wheated bourbon in a barrel and a rye at the same time, that rye will be done
we
years ahead of the other one. Yeah.
I just pulled out. So we use we've got 53-gallon barrels in our rick house, but we also do a lot of 25s and 30s. And those, for one, age a lot quicker, which maybe that's something that a lot of people know. But the ryes, I mean, I tasted one.
Yeah, they taste mature.
Barreled.
I mean, yeah.
Steve, this is a fun little fact. We barreled it right when I got here. Pretty much. It was barreled in April, and I got here end of March.
Yeah.
Of 2020. And I tasted one the other day just to just full transparency. I tasted it because it was barrel 747 and it was a rye. And I was like, we're definitely going to name this one Delta Rye because it's a 747. So that's the only reason I even tasted it. I was like, oh, let's see how this one's aging. Cause it's just just a straight rye whiskey. And I would have drank that entire barrel right now. Like the whole thing.
No, one sitting, literally one sitting.
I would have put an IV in my arm, other than the fact I could have tasted it if I did that. Maybe a drip. I don't know what I would have done. Anything, because I was like and it was only let's see, 16 months old, I think.
Yeah.
Or 17
That's important to remember when cash flow at the beginning is always tough. Those ryes come together pretty quick.
It was incredible. And I'm so, like, I would have pulled that barrel that day, other than the fact that we don't have rye labels really yet. And so I didn't want to pull it because I don't have a rye whiskey label. Because I don't know that we thought it was going to be ready that soon, but I mean, it's like, they're really, really fucking good.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Rye whiskey is going to be ready quick, but we've had some wheats that have been incredible at, like we've had some interesting ones at 22 months old that were they were ready to go out of those 30-gallon barrels. And I mean, when you do it right and you have good barrels and a good distillate, you can have it ready at a lot younger age.
Yeah. This is true.
That's awesome.
This is true.
That's what we've kind of found. So we partnered with a distillery in Kentucky that has really similar equipment to us, and they did just a short custom run for us. So we have 15 barrels aging, and we worked with Andrew at Independent Stave.
We bring
nice. I love.
He's a regular on our show.
Yeah, he's a good friend of ours.
That dude, we went down there and met him, and he completely blew our mind.
Oh yeah, he's a genius at what he does.
Yeah, he is like the mad scientist in there. Those little blowout graphs that he shows of the heat structures of what happens to the wood are crazy.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah, so we're playing around. We did that because we're trying to pick a barrel, and so we're playing around with some different toast profiles and barrel types and stuff. So when we're up and running, we'll know what we want to go to. But those barrels that we have sitting are like a year old now, and the rye is, I would 100% agree with what we have on site. The rye is way ahead of where the stuff is.
Always.
Yeah.
It honestly, now that I know that you're working with Andrew with your barrels, then I mean,
you're in good shape. Yeah.
I say you're fine then when it comes to the flavor from the barrel, because you should have all good things, because that's what Andrew does.
That dude is awesome.
Yeah. He's fun to hang out with too, and you never know he's a genius if you just hang out with him.
Right.
He's just one of us when he hangs out with. When we see him present, it's like, holy cow, this is why he does what he does. He's brilliant at it. No.
Exactly.
When we went down there, that was insane. That I had no clue when we were walking in there what we were getting ready to hear when he started going through all that stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Before getting into a ton of bourbon stuff, like for myself, I know that all I thought of barrels was that some random, some random person's just throwing together barrels. There's no real thought put into it. They're charring them, and you just throw some whiskey in them. That's all I ever thought about when it came to a cooperage. I never for a second thought that there was research and development going on.
All the science there.
And all the science that went behind it. I had absolutely no idea about that at all until talking to We Brink and talking to other people. And it was like, oh, holy shit. I just, it was not something, and this is, years ago, but it's just stuff that I had never, as a consumer, ever even considered. about bourbon or any other barrel aged anything of how much science goes behind it. Because in your head, you just are like, yeah, it's a barrel. Like what difference is one barrel going to be from the next? Actually, a shit ton of difference if if it's a good barrel versus a bad one.
Yeah. Della, what else would you like to know from Dylan here about what he's got going on?
I want to know where does it end? He's going to do wheats. He's going to do rye. Does he see himself doing other kinds of spirits, or just sticking to bourbon?
Right. So our goal, what we want to be known for, is like in bourbon and rye. We want to be a bourbon company.
Okay.
That's what we want to get to. But we're not sourcing anything. So everything we kick out is going to be made by us. So we know it's going to take us time to get there. And we knew that starting off. We're playing the long game with this. We're not expecting, great things right out of the gate. So we're going to have vodka and some flavored vodkas starting out just for something to generate some cash flow and getting out. And actually, we're really lucky. There's an ethanol plant out of our back door, like 4 miles, and it's Golden Triangle Energy. But they were a small ethanol plant, and they're too small to really have the production to make it in the ethanol industry. So they flipped over a few years ago and produced basically all beverage alcohol. And we're getting all of our GNS from there. And we're not hiding that or trying to say that we are, making vodka at all. We haul thousands of bushels of grain there every year. So we're going to promote that as a Northwest Missouri, promote the farmers in Northwest Missouri. They're hauling all the grain there and making this product. We're going to use that kind of as leverage for on our side, on the vodka side. I'm going to guess there's not too many other vodka out there that can say they get their GNS from a plant that could still have some of their corn in it. So we're going to use that. That's how we're going to promote that, or kind of put an angle on that, I guess. But yeah, cool. So we will have vodka.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we're going to play around with some gin too. We worked with Clay at Moonshine. Clay's awesome down there. He helped us out with trying to play around with some gin. So we're going to make some gin there on site and kind of use those as a bridge to get to our brown stuff.
Okay. I think that's always kind of the best idea for these small places, is like, if you can do something that is, you can get it off an unaged product off the still that you're doing well, whether it be a flavored thing or not. I mean, that's what kind of can keep you afloat until your stuff gets age on it.
The long game is good in bourbon, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's what you need. Yeah,
but you need the short game in unaged spirits.
Yes.
Right. A good cocktail program can help you out a lot too for distillery numbers. I mean, that's going to be big for you early on when you're working with those clear spirits. But it sounds like you're doing a lot of the right things, man. So congrats on that. We talked a little bit. You and I were just chit chat. We got started here, and you were telling me that kind of doing a soft launch, around the holiday season, having a few private parties and stuff like that. And then sometime after the first year, you'll kind of be opening your doors to the public. So kind of tell us what you know in terms of the plan. As people hear this and want to start making that trip, what do they need to do?
Yeah, so our plan is, when we started this, we want to be kind of a day trip for people. So we know people are going to have to travel to get to us. We're located about 90 minutes north of Kansas City. And we're about 90 minutes south of Omaha. We're right on I-29. We know people are going to have to travel to get to us, but we want to be like for people to take a day trip, like out of Kansas City or Omaha, to come see us for something to do, and something for the locals to kind of do on a daily basis. So that's what we want to do. And when we get our doors open, I'm hoping, and it's going to be here after the first of the year, as soon as we can get some of our clear spirits in a bottle, we're going to go ahead and open our doors. Our retail side's pretty much ready to go. We're kind of booking some events now, so kind of some private parties, Christmas parties, some business parties, that type of thing. Kind of utilizing that as kind of some soft openings so we can practice on some people and stuff before we're actually ready to open up. And our actual production side, I'm hoping we can, knock on wood, we can fire the still up, around Christmas sometime, somewhere right in there. So it's been a long road, but we're getting a lot closer to actually being able to open up our doors and make something.
Very nice. Very
Are
nice.
you guys going to have tours available there then and there?
Yeah, so tours will be a big thing for us. So kind of on our tour, kind of our, no, I don't want to say soapboxes. That's not what we want to do, but a big part of it will be like ag education for people. Like when we start a tour, we're going to start at the very beginning. We're going to show them, I mean, we're the same people planting them. I mean, when you go to a distillery tour, a lot of times, I mean, they hit on the grain. I mean, they may have a mason jar there or something with some grain in it or something and say, yeah, this is our percentage corn and stuff. We're getting it from, the same grower down the road for X number of years or whatever. But we're going to be the ones putting it in the ground. We're going to be the ones harvesting it. We're going to take people, we're going to plant a test plot right there by our distillery. Our distillery literally sits in the middle of a cornfield. It is literally on the farm. So we're going to take people out to the field. I don't care if it's, 0 degrees and it's wind's blowing. I mean, that's what you're on a farm distillery. We work out in it every day. Obviously you don't have to go out if you don't want to, but we're going out. That's what we do. So we go out, we're going to take people to the field. There's going to be something growing out there all the time. Clear through winter, our wheat and rye will be growing. That'll be out there in the field to see. And we're going to tell people about modern agriculture, what we do on a daily basis and that type of stuff. So that's going to kick off our tour kind of at the beginning. And then we'll be able to bring them clear through the distillery, show them we're going to grind everything right there on site and mill everything, fermentation, the cooking and the distillation process, the whole 9 yards right there, kind of all on site, the whole circle.
Exit through the gift shop, folks. There you go.
That's right. You give it the Disney treatment, you got to enter through and exit out.
There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Dylan, people probably want to follow this journey. They want to learn more. Where do they need to go to follow you?
Yeah, so you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Our Farm Distillery, or we have a website right now. It's just kind of a splash page. Our full website is going to be launched here very soon, and it is ourfarmdistilling.com.
Okay. And R being the letter R for all that, folks. So Our Farm.
Yeah.
All right. Della, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at 6 Feet of Dynamite, and you can also find me on Untapped at 6 Feet of Dynamite.
All right, Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, to always remember is abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, our shop, my book, whatever you want to find, it's all out there at abvnetwork.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com. Call them at 217-254-6613 or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.